What's going on, you bummer clots? It's your boy Captain Smoke, man. I'm back here with another episode of Two Hits. Today I'm gonna give you my little opinion on super teams. Are the Warriors really a super team? Are the Cavs a super team? And just what I feel to be a super team. This is actually the second take of the video. Really, technically the third. First bong rip, I had to fucking clear some space off my phone. Second bong rip, I just turned this into a damn ramble. So here we are again, take three. I'm gonna try to keep it on track. I basically started explaining how the Raiders were a fucking super organization and shit. So anyway, let me try to stick to the NBA at this point in time. But anyway, it's a lot of talk about super teams, and it has been for a long time. Guys teaming up or guys going to good teams to get rings isn't really anything new. We talk about what was it, Moses Malone, or was it Moses that went to the Sixers way back in the fucking day? And I'll have to look that up. But anyway, guys, I feel like there's a big difference between a super organization and a super team. Now, let me preface this by saying, obviously, it's Raider Nation all day. A lot of people ask me, why am I not like Warrior Nation, Dub Nation, as hardcore as I am Raider Nation? And honestly, I tell everybody, I'm a Houston Rockets fan. I grew up watching Hakeem Olajuwon. That's my second favorite player all time to watch, outside of Jordan, obviously. But I'm one of those diehard fans, guys. When I pick a team, like, and this is from birth, damn near. When I get with a team, you know, go to their games, know all their players, know the ins and outs of the system, watch the draft. Like, I get really invested. So I can't just when they're not playing anymore, I'm not just gonna abandon them, right? So that's the kind of fan I am. But I'm also a fan of the sport. I'm a fan of the NFL, NBA, and that, you know, pretty much, et cetera, et cetera. But I say that to say I'm a fan of the entire league, the competition of it and everything. And when you say competition, people are probably thinking I'm about to bag on the Warriors or some shit, but I'm not. What I want to say is this. I feel like there's a big difference between a super organization and a super team. Now, let me get into what I mean by that. Now, obviously, I have a lot of family that's diehard Warrior fans. Okay? So I watched a lot of Warrior basketball through the years. One of my favorite players coming up was Jason Richardson, 23 for the Warriors, man. Because he, first of all, on NBA Live 05, this dude could double backflip and then put it through his fucking legs 2 times and dunk that bitch. Like, seriously. But he, like, crazy athletic. One of my favorite players. Then you had Baron Davis. Michael Petrus is like a lesser known player, but he was one of my favorites because I felt like he gave effort. Like, you know what I'm saying? He just gave so much effort out there. But Latrell Sprewell, all of, you know, just Warriors throughout time. So I've watched Warrior basketball. I like what they're about. They've been a fun team to watch, you know, for a long time because they've always had pretty much exciting players. But recently, what you notice, and mainly I want to talk about their core that they've built now. And by core, I mean minus KD for the moment. Steph, Clay, and Draymond. None of these guys are top 10 picks, meaning that these are the best players. These are like best players at their position. Some of the best players in their position. You could argue top 3 for all of them. And yet they're not top 10 picks in their drafts. So what you have is the Warriors making the right pick every year. We seen McCaw come in and give them great minutes during the finals. You get what I'm saying? So you got Draymond going in the fucking second round. That reminds me of Derek Carr going in the second round for the Raiders after John Gruden told you, bro. John Gruden told you he feels like this is the best quarterback in the draft. And hey, bro, I watch every episode of QB Camp, and I don't want to turn this into a Raider video because this is what happened last video. But I'm just saying, I feel like the Raiders are a super organization because of how we draft. Khalil Mack, Derek Carr, Mari Cooper. Like, we just keep going and going. Carl Joseph. And then we have the rookies this year. Corner, I can't think of the name off the top of my head. Corner out of Ohio State. Obviously had some off the field problems, but that's a blessing in disguise because it looks like he's going to clear that shit. Like, that was nothing. That was some fake shit. And he's, you know, we got to steal another one, as Khaled would say. But anyway, like I said, that's all I'm going to say about the Raiders. Super organization. The Warriors are making the right moves. Guys, you can't, like, okay, let's say Steph, Clay, and Draymond were all top 5 picks, as they probably deserve to be in their drafts. maybe not Draymond, but second round is sleeping on Draymond, bro. But anyway, let's say they're all top five and they all play for different teams. At that point, what they're making monetarily, they cannot go to another. Maybe they can, but it's not plausible to then sign Durant if they were to come from different teams and then assemble on the Warriors. So that brings me into what a super team is. A super team a super team reminds me of the Avengers, and to me, that's how the name got started. You have all these superheroes from their own respective cities, coming together in one location to form this super force to defeat evil, or in the NBA's case, win a championship, right? So the most recent start point I can start you out at is obviously the 2008 Boston Celtics when Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen came in. They had Paul Pierce, Doc Rivers, a baby Rondo, which was the best Rondo we had seen, to be honest. And fucking Marcus Smart in the cut. You had Big Baby Davis, Kendrick Perkins. You remember that team, guys. So we that's the first one in recent memory that we actually considered to be a super team. I mean, obviously the Lakers tried to put together, Steve Nash with Kobe, Andrew Bynum, Pau Gasol, Lamar Odom. I mean, that was a pretty damn good team, but it is what it is. But I say that to say that doesn't really have as much to do with the organization nowadays as it does the players. Like, okay, so LeBron, D Wade in Miami is the big super team that we all remember as like a jumping off point in reaction to the Celtics. You feel me? They had their big party about not 2 rings, not 3 rings, not you guys remember that. So that kind of kicked them off as like the super villains. You feel me? Just coming together to fight not that the Celtics were necessarily heroes or anything. They were just they. And to me, I mean, everybody knows that these guys were on. They were very late in their careers. That's like what everybody is talking about. Oh, Melo, LeBron, and Chris Paul should be on a team. That's that type of shit. But when you look at okay, so LeBron goes back to the Cavs. People say, okay, the Cavs are a super team. No, they're not. In my opinion, they're not. And the reason I say that is because any team LeBron goes to can be considered a fucking super team. I mean, they bring in Kevin Love, who gave you like 4 points last night in Game 5 of the Finals elimination game. He gives you like 4, maybe 6 points. But then you do have Kyrie Irving, who's a legit Hall of Famer, man. He's a legit Hall of Famer, but just to keep it a buck, I feel like he was a big reason that they lost this series because, he's one of the, if not the best in the world. I mean, he's under the rim. He's the best finisher in the world. We all know that. Both hands from pretty much anywhere inside. There's not really anybody that can stay in front of him with his handles. So my thing is, I know you're an ISO guy. I know you're good. But I hate seeing you, because you see when Kyrie gets the ball in a certain position, he's going to put up a shot no matter what. All I want you to do is get to the basket and try that finishing ability. If you miss that contested layup, okay, maybe, I can live with that a little bit. But also, what you got to think about is you're going to get to the rim first. You're probably going to draw some help. And then you can dish the ball out. You can play make. But all of these crazy ass pull-up threes, low percentage, he makes some of them. And when he does, it's good. But it's always those, no. Oh, shit, he made that. Like that kind of shot. And, when you're down 10, that just gets you further and further out of the game. But as far as, when's the last time the Cavs had a draft pick that was relevant? And I mean, obviously, because they're in the championship, or they've been in the championship recently. But Kyrie's the last person they drafted that's made an impact on the team. So I don't see them as like a super organization because you got LeBron doing the recruiting. He gets who he wants and stuff, or he, gets what he can. But he voices his opinion. Like he was saying he needs more playmakers, and everybody thought that was a shot at Kyrie. But look at what he did in the playoffs. Kyrie is mainly an ISO player, and that's a very good thing to have in your offense. But when you need somebody to create offense for other guys, I mean, JR, Darren Williams, Kyle Korver, Richard Jefferson, they combined for like 3 points for the first 2 games together. So you need somebody to create offense for somebody besides LeBron. And that's all he was saying. So I don't feel like they're a super team because take away LeBron, what are they, a 5th, 6th seed in the East? Honestly. And Kevin Love, for me, if you're going to get a guy like Kevin Love, right, who's really good in the post, he can shoot the three, but they're basically turning him to a spot up shooter. I don't understand why they just didn't go out and get a better shooter. Everybody's saying Paul George now, but it's just like, do we? Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, man, that to me, the difference between, let me just reiterate before I get out of here. The difference between a super organization and a super team is the super organization builds and puts their team in a position to have a really great team over time. It's not like they, all of these guys came from separate teams and joined up on the Warriors to decide to, build a dynasty. The organization's been drafting the core, and then they were in a financial position to be able to bring on a Kevin Durant. I mean, obviously, that makes them the best team talent-wise in the league, and that kind of rubs people, or most people, the wrong way, because there aren't too many teams that are going to be competing with that. But they built it the organizational way, so you can't really be mad. And honestly, with Kevin Durant, like I've voiced this in many videos, I've been I'm not gonna say his number one fan, but like Kevin Durant's been my favorite player since he was at Texas because I wanted him at the Rockets so bad. But obviously the Seattle SuperSonics took him second. Portland took Greg Oden first. Wow, that's a sad story. But obviously from OKC, I mean, we all wanted to see, everybody that's followed his career from the beginning wanted to see him win one for sure. But it would have been so much sweeter for him to win it in OKC first. Kind of like with LeBron in Cleveland. But at the end of the day, man, he's 10 years in the league. We look at some of our favorite retired personalities like Charles Barkley, and that's one of the things that he always gets, crap about, never winning a damn ring. So now even a guy like JaVale McGee, who I've always been a fan of, to be honest, because his size, athleticism, finishing. I'm not going to say finishing, but, you remember when he was in a dunk contest and freaking dunked two balls on two different goals at the same time? I was like, I'm sold, bro. You should be able to defend the rim, and you should be an alley-oop machine. But obviously things turned out. But, I mean, he got his ring. So for now, that's one thing he has over Barkley. And so Barkley was the guy that stayed, well, not until after his prime, obviously, but he was dragging the Phoenix Suns to the finals every year. Not necessarily the finals, but deep in the playoffs. And he never won. So it's just like, you look at Stockton, Malone, all of these guys, and it's like, would it have been so bad for them to be able to compete or actually win a ring? So anyway, guys, basically, like if LeBron, I don't know, man. I don't know the whole PG thing, I don't know. But, LeBron's going to compete at a high level for a few more years. We'll see what plays out and how they can keep this Warrior core together, plus Kevin Durant now, and, continue making those good second round picks, late first rounders if they have them. And what I'm mainly interested to see, and this is the main point I wanted to make in the video, I'm kind of late getting to it, but every time we have a team that just surpasses everybody else on such a level, it evolves the league. Players have to get better. Teams and organizations start paying more attention to, what they need to do to beat this team and put themselves in a position to be competitive. So I feel like this is going to help the league evolve in all things. I mean, it might be a few years, but now teams know. And I mean, there are always going to be the organizations that aren't smart, that get players and, try to build rosters that sound good, but we all know they're not going to fucking compete. So you're really just throwing money down the tube. But there's going to be a few teams that really commit to the rebuilding process. And, speaking of the process, you look at the Sixers, young teams like the Sixers, the Lakers, they're going to ride out this storm and they're going, they're going to have their time, I believe. Because shit like this, you just got to ride out, bro. Honestly. You knew when LeBron went to Miami, you knew he was in the finals every year, and with Cleveland and the East, the way it was looking, you knew that's how it's going to be. So you got to build until you're able to beat them. But yeah, man, this is your boy Captain the Smoke, man. Until next time, let me know what you think about, super teams versus super organizations and whether you like it or not in the comments below. But yeah, until next time, smoke out.